feel that in order for the Democrats to rise like a phoenix from the ashes of our electoral defeat, we need to look at more than just the outer issues such as data analysis and field organizing and fundraising. We need to transform. In a way, we need to reinvent the Democratic Party in order to counter what MAGA is bringing to the table.
This week, Marianne Williamson became the latest candidate and first woman to jump into the race for Democratic National Committee chair. The former 2020 presidential candidate joins a wide field vying for the seat that current chair, DNC chair Jamie Harrison, is leaving. This comes at a time where Democrats are moving past a difficult presidential election loss and now beginning to focus on their party's future. Joining us now is Marilyn Davis, who is running for secretary of the DNC, and she's coming with the glasses, so I'm all in.
Marilyn
I'm in.
Always has a good spectacle on.
I'm all in.
She always has on a good spectacle. Marilyn, can we just first get your... So first of all, you are running for one of the most important positions, I would argue, in the Democratic National Committee. That is
more important than chair?
One of the most important.
Oh, okay.
I said one. Dang.
Well, chairman, guys.
Then the second. So just talk first, what is your pitch to DNC members for why you should be the secretary? Again, 448 people are going to make this decision. And then do you have any thoughts about the chair's race? There are lots of folks that have gotten in the break. We were discussing the fact that we have yet to see a person of color throw their hat into the ring for DNC chair. I have thoughts about why, but here for yours.
So here's why I am running for the secretary of the DNC, one of the most powerful positions at the DNC. One, the role of the secretary is to provide the infrastructure for the DNC leaders to engage, to effectively communicate to state party chairs, to DNC members, to candidates, activists, and elected officials. In order for the Democratic Party to attain victories in all 50 states, Democrats must work together, and it all starts in the secretary's office. As far as the chair's race, someone's going to lead the party. They're all great candidates, but we need to make sure that the entire leadership team is reflective of the diversity of this country.
I love that.
Even Marianne Williamson.
I love that. So she'll need to comment on that. So my question really goes to what you just described as one of the roles and responsibilities, and the important role that the secretary plays, and that is communication. So how do you, or how should you, begin in that role to help the DNC better communicate black women who right now are a little bit, how should we say, outdone with the party, with obviously the results of the election relative to the effort that they put in to secure the victory, and not take for granted and assume that, well, we'll get through another cycle, all is well, and you start putting out pro forma conversations and talking points, blowing past the fact that there are members within your ranks who are not happy.
Absolutely, totally understand. I have to say this. I am a daughter of rural South Carolina. I have worked on 5 presidential campaigns. I've worked in corporate America, from the State House to Capitol Hill. I am now a business owner. I am running for secretary of the DNC because we need leaders who are engagement focused and who will put people ahead of polls. In this election, 92% of Black women support the party. We are a loyal constituency, and we deserve a seat at the table. And Black women we don't have the luxury of giving up or sending this one out. Our families are dependent on us. Our communities are dependent on us. We have to stay in the game. We have to stay engaged. Our future depends on it.
I want to talk a little bit about that engagement first strategy. It echoes some reporting that there was in the Washington Post about an emphasis on redistributing money and power to the state parties. They write, quote, "The Association of State Democratic Chairs adopted a proposal this month that would give state parties 50% of all funds that national leaders raise through joint fundraising agreements with their state accounts. It would also dramatically increase monthly funding for state operations while separately giving state chairs more decision-making power in national party affairs." I wonder what you make of a strategy that puts more emphasis on state party infrastructure.
Let me say this. Yesterday's DNC should not be today's DNC. We have to go back to the people. We have to do basic campaigning, which starts in the community. Block by block, street by street, we have to be where the people are. We cannot politic or campaign from Washington, D.C. inside the Beltway. The people in the Beltway, the consultants in the Beltway, they have not been in the states. They haven't been in Michigan. The last 10 days of this election, I was in Michigan, organizing, canvassing, and door knocking, talking to voters. That is what we need, people talking to voters. But the voters in Michigan, no one talked to them, which is why they didn't come out and vote. So in order for us to rebuild the party, we have to start on Main Street and not in D.C.
Well, you know what's interesting about what you say there, I think, Marilyn, it was reflected in a comment made by Ken Martin in Playbook. I love this. "Honey, I Shrunk the DNC chair." Quote, "What I would say is there's no savior coming in to save the DNC," Ken Martin tells Playbook. "People have this sort of savior mentality that somehow the next DNC chair is the only person responsible for actually putting ourselves in a position to win, is going to take all of us." That goes to how we started the conversation and the point that Simone raised, that you are, in your role as secretary, as vital a piece of this solution for the DNC as the chair is itself, as are other officers of the party. But I would even take it a step further, and this is something that's often lost, and it's something I focused on as national chair for the RNC, is state party chairmen and women, national committee men and women. How do you see that combination of forces coming together to right the ship, if you will?
Oh, Marilyn froze.
Oh, she froze.
Yeah.
She
But
froze.
I
If only we had a chairman to tell us how they would answer that question.
So can I just say, first of all,
Thanks, Alicia.
we're one of the only people highlighting all of these different folks that are running for the DNC chair's race. Shout out to our booking apparatus. Oh, Marilyn is back, because this is important. And I will also note that a lot of people are throwing shade at Jamie Harrison, but to Michael's point, this current reiteration of the DNC, they gave money to state parties. But to Marilyn's point, yesterday's price ain't today's price. Yesterday's DNC can't be today's DNC in order to move it forward. So, Marilyn,
so I don't know if you caught all of my question. I hope you did. But, you know, the bottom line is you raised that point about there being a bigger piece of this in the leadership. If you could, very quickly before we let you go, speak to the broadness of effort, not just with the national leadership, but also party leadership state by state.
Again, we must bring leaders to the table who have experience organizing in communities. The officers of the DNC should bring their whole selves to the table. Yes, I'm running for secretary. There are specific roles for the secretary, but what I also bring to the table is that I also have experience working on 5 presidential campaigns. I have experience organizing from states from Michigan, Florida, South Carolina, New Jersey, New York. And so we need leaders who, from the top to the bottom, from the national level to the local level, and that's where state parties come in. State parties can be the conveners to make sure that the resources get to the people and that we are engaging the people. We have to get back to basics here, basic campaigning and talking to voters where they are. And that is why state parties are important in this process.
Right.
Marilyn Davis may not be one of the names that people know in the Democratic Party apparatus, but she is someone that has been doing the work for a very long time. We thank you so much for your time this morning.